One quiet afternoon, in a secluded corner of the zoo, a young camel sat beside its mother, intently gazing into the still water of a small pond. It tilted its head, flared its nostrils, then furrowed its brow. The reflection, showing a large hump on its back, long slender legs, and thick lashes, filled the young camel with curiosity. After a while of pondering, it turned to its mother and asked, "Mom, why do we have such big humps on our backs?" The mother camel smiled gently. "My dear, we are desert animals. That hump isn't just for decoration, it's where our bodies store fat. When there's no water or food, that hump helps us survive for many days." The young camel nodded slightly. It was a reasonable answer, but not quite enough. "Then what about our long legs? And why are our feet so wide?" Once again, the mother patiently explained. "Long legs help us walk across the endless dunes. And those broad feet, they're like sandals, they keep us from sinking into the hot sand. Thanks to them, we can travel through places other creatures never could." The young camel fell silent for a moment, then gently shook its head. "What about our long, thick eyelashes? They always get in my way." The mother chuckled, softly placing her nose on her child's forehead. "Those are one of our greatest gifts. They protect our eyes from the sudden sandstorms that blow in from all directions. When the desert winds rise, it's our lashes that keep the light in, so we can see the path ahead." Silence followed. The young camel lowered its head, as if trying to piece everything together. Then, in a small but thoughtful voice, it asked again, "If the hump helps us survive hunger and thirst, if our long legs help us cross the desert, if our lashes protect us from the sandstorms, then why are we in a zoo?" The mother camel didn't answer right away. She looked at her child, then stared into the distance, where the tall metal fences stood firm all around them. A soft sigh escaped from deep within her chest. "I've been wondering the same thing, my dear." The young camel's question, though innocent, carried something profound. Because if you pay close attention, every part of its body had a purpose. The hump was for storing. The legs were for walking. The eyelashes were for protection. It was born to live in the desert, vast, harsh, and full of challenges. It was made for freedom, for endurance, for resilience in the face of adversity. And yet, here it was, standing behind concrete walls and cold iron bars. A place where there's no need to walk far, no sandstorms, and no one who cares about long legs or thick lashes. That is the sad part. And also, the real part. Because it's not just the camel. We humans often live the same way. Each of us is born with our own unique gifts. Some are great at persuasion. Some have creative hands. Some are good listeners. Some inspire others effortlessly. But too many people are living in invisible zoos. Places where their talents go unseen. Where their abilities are misused or unused. Think of the friend who works in accounting but longs to paint. The sister who's a manager but only feels joy when tending to plants. The brother who loves writing but spends each day making cold calls. They're not lacking in ability. They're just standing in the wrong place. And slowly they forget what they once loved, what they were once good at. A simple but powerful lesson. Talent, when trapped in the wrong place, becomes like long legs in a concrete cage, unable to walk anywhere. So if you've ever felt out of place, like life wasn't meant for you, maybe, just like that young camel, you hold incredible strength within. But simply, you haven't yet stood where you were meant to be. And to find that place, we must begin with 3 simple questions. The first question will help you look back at yourself. You see, the problem wasn't that the camel lacked ability. The problem was it was in the wrong place. And that doesn't just happen to animals. It happens to us every single day. There are people born with vivid imaginations, with skillful hands, with the gift of listening in a way that makes others feel at peace after just a few minutes of conversation. And yet, they end up trapped in repetitive jobs, in offices where there's no room for creativity, or in environments where only results matter, people don't. An artist will wither in paperwork. A born leader will be buried if no one listens to them. Someone who loves to create value will slowly feel useless if they spend every day chasing deadlines for meaningless tasks. It's not that they're incapable. They're just planting flowers in rocky soil. They're sowing seeds where there's no sunlight. And just like the camel in the zoo, fully equipped to thrive, to go far, but with no opportunity to take a single step. A small, yet important lesson. Talent doesn't bloom on its own if it's not planted in the right place. Just like a cactus, resilient as it may be, it still needs sunlight and desert soil to truly thrive. So if you've ever sighed after work, Ever felt empty in the middle of a crowd? Ever quietly wondered, was I meant to do something else? Then maybe the answer is yes. Maybe you just haven't found the environment where your inner talent is truly valued. And to begin again, we need a map, not to find the way out there, but to find the way back to ourselves. The 3 questions that follow will be your first compass. So, if we are in the wrong place, if the talent within us has not yet been used in the right way, how do we start again? How do we know where our own desert truly lies? The answer begins with 3 very simple questions. First question, what am I truly good at? Not what you've become good at simply because you've done it for so long, but what you do naturally, effortlessly, like it was born within you. Maybe you're gifted at connecting with others. Maybe you have a knack for solving problems creatively. Maybe you always see solutions when others only see problems. Listen to what others have praised you for. Notice the moments when you lose track of time while doing something. Those are signs of your true talents. Second question, where am I right now? The place where you live, work, or study. Is it a place that sees and nurtures your potential? If you're highly creative, but spend every day following rigid routines. If you're a natural listener, but are only expected to get things done all day, then that is not the soil for your seed. A gifted writer cannot bloom in a job filled only with spreadsheets. A kind-hearted soul will never feel peace in a place that only values profit. Third question, am I taking action? Are you learning, practicing, seeking out opportunities to develop your abilities every day? Or are you simply waiting for some perfect day to arrive? Talent is a gift, but if you don't use it, it will sleep, just like the camel's hump behind the iron bars. A small but honest lesson. You don't need to change your entire life in one day. Just start with a question, a small step, a little bit each day. And when you begin to answer those 3 questions, you'll discover, beneath the dust of doubt, exhaustion, and forgetfulness, there is still a bright seed within you, waiting to be planted in the right soil. But if you're still unsure, if you're standing at a crossroads, wondering whether you have the courage to take the next step, then let the final part offer you a gentle reminder, like the first sunlight after a long stretch of darkness. This life is not lacking in talented people. What's lacking are people who dare to ask, am I in the right place? Because sometimes you don't need to be better. You just need to be planted in the right soil. A cactus cannot bloom in a swamp, and a fish, no matter how well it swims, can never climb a tree. If you've ever felt small, invisible, unnoticed, maybe it's not because you're lacking. Maybe it's because you're in a place that's not meant for you to shine. Remember the young camel, with all its strength, resilience, and endurance, but locked in a cage where none of that was needed. Don't let your talents fall asleep just because you're in the wrong place. Because once you find your own desert, the place where you truly belong, you won't have to try so hard to fit in. You will simply be yourself and naturally shine. A small lesson to carry with you. Live as if you are planting a precious seed every day. And don't be afraid if you don't see the sprout today. Just make sure you've planted it in the right soil. And now is the time to ask yourself, where am I on my journey? Am I living in alignment with my talents and dreams? Do I dare to take a step, even a small one, toward the place I truly belong? If you're ready to change, start with one small action today. Write down what you're best at. Share that answer in the comments. And maybe someone will see it, connect with you, and open a new door. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched something in your heart, share it with someone who also needs a reminder that they deserve a better place. And if you want to keep walking this journey of self-discovery, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Each video will be a small seed planted in your heart of mindfulness, hope, and motivation. You are not lacking in talent. You just need to find the right soil meant for you. And when you do, you won't just live. You will truly bloom.